I just want to say congratulations. This is a special one to first-time Grammy nominee who's in the house here, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. That's right. She was nominated in the audiobook category. And with her being here, you know what that means. For the first time ever, if you lose a Grammy, you can appeal directly to the Supreme Court.
They're not good at jokes or writing or the English language. Trevor Noah at the really awful Grammys Democrat Party Wank Fest last night on the CBS television network. And what were the big songs? The Dalai Lama with his new hit single. Ketanji Brown Jackson did not win the Grammy, which is racist. She's got a new song called What Is a Woman Anyway? What is a woman anyway? She doesn't know. Well, welcome back. Hour number 3. And I tell you, we've got the Democrat Party. I'd like to point out that they're criminally insane. I think pretty much every registered Democrat should not be allowed through TSA at airports, shouldn't be allowed on airplanes. It's like they're like Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda may have mellowed out more, actually. Democrats are self-immolating and committing terrorist attacks. A lot of suicide attacks across the country have been for years now. Speaking of which, you've undoubtedly heard about this. There is a woman who's an anchor woman on the Today Show on NBC. Her name is Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie, a perfectly nice name. And honestly, she's always seemed to be a perfectly nice person, too, a smiling person and all that. Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie's mother reported missing in Arizona. Aspects of the scene at Nancy Guthrie's home were concerning. Pima County Sheriff there, Chris Nanos, said that there are concerning signs at her home, and that's not a positive thing. He also noted that the 84-year-old's family had reported she had no cognitive issues at all. Nice-looking woman, big smile every time you see her, 84 years old. She's female. I'm looking at the police report here. 5'05" inches. 5'05" inches, that's what it says. 150 pounds. Do we really need to talk about her weight on that? Her hair color is brown, her eyes are blue, and she was last seen on January 31st of 2026 at her residence near East Skyline Drive and north of Campbell Avenue. We have a Skyline Drive around here, too. It's a different one. Unknown what clothing she may have been wearing at the time. But this is pretty wacky, and every television network is all over it today, like the Kennedy assassination. And I certainly hope that mom has just, changed her mind about something and went for a drive or doing something fun. But the mother of Savannah Guthrie, co-anchor of NBC's Today Show, has been reported missing in Arizona. Officials said on Sunday Nancy Guthrie coincidentally have the same last name. That doesn't even happen very much these days. 84 years old, last seen Saturday night in her home outside of Tucson, Arizona, according to a missing persons flyer. She was reported missing by her family around noon on Sunday, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said. And this is peculiar now, and it is unusual, but I've never seen a missing persons report get this kind of media coverage. And I assume that the Democrats are hoping that they can make it political in some way. And in Arizona, I'm hopeful that it's not illegal alien gang members behind this episode, whatever it is. We don't know that it's an abduction. We don't know that any harm has come to her, but now the language is evolving a little bit compared to early this morning. Nanos, the police chief, told reporters that aspects of the scene at the home caused, listen to this, grave concern. Grave concern. When you say grave concern, that means life or death. He said this one stood out because of what was described to us at the scene and what we found and located just in looking at the scene. The police chief said he didn't elaborate on what caused such grave concern, but homicide detectives were called out to process the scene. So they're treating it not only as a crime scene, but as a homicide crime scene. Their involvement is not standard protocol, and foul play cannot be ruled out, he said. Now, that is something Jenna Bush Hager of the Bush family, co-host of the fourth hour of Today, reported on air that Nancy Guthrie needs to take medication on a daily basis to survive. The FBI is also aware of the case. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is also assisting. Now, why would Customs and Border Protection be assisting unless they thought there were some illegal alien issues related to this? And I certainly hope that no harm has come to the nice 84-year-old lady and with her nice daughter, Savannah Guthrie. But Nanos, the police chief, told the NBC affiliate there, KVOA, in Tucson, he said, there are some things there that are concerning to us. We just don't want to miss anything. Now, so that doesn't sound optimistic, I've got to say. That doesn't sound very positive at all. And I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope for the best possible outcome. Now, with that said, speaking of best possible outcome, let's go to the Democrat running for mayor. He's a lefty in Long Beach, California, and he's a radical. Long Beach mayoral candidate calls on 55 gangs, street gangs, drug gangs, cartels, gangs. Calls on 55, and he uses the number 55. He believes that there are specifically 55 gangs that he is trying to organize to start a civil war in the United States of America. Long Beach mayoral candidate calls on 55 gangs to gang up on ICE. The Independent Sentinel. Rogelio Martinez, a candidate for mayor of Long Beach, California, has issued a direct appeal to the city's criminal organizations to join a war. And the word war is in quotation marks because that's the word that he used, against federal immigration authorities. Martinez called on leaders from all 55 gangs in Long Beach, specifically naming Latino, Cambodian, Filipino, Black, and Pacific Islander groups, to meet him at City Hall this coming Monday. That's today. Now, listen to Rogelio Martinez. And he posted a video. Listen to this. He's a Democrat. He's running for mayor of an American city, and he's calling for all-out war in the United States of America. And the news media is fine with this because they're all on Team Democrat. Here is Rogelio Martinez running for mayor of Long Beach, California.
My name is Rogelio Martinez. I am calling all 55 gangs in my beautiful city. I expect a gang leader from every gang, all 55 gangs, and I'm not going to name them by name, but I'm calling the Latino gangs.
Latino.
I'm calling the Cambodian gangs.
Yeah, they got a lot of Cambodian gangs.
I'm calling the Filipino gangs.
Filipino.
I'm calling the Black gangs.
Yeah, of course.
I'm calling the Pacific Islander gangs.
Be racist not to.
I'm calling all gang leaders to meet me right here, Long Beach City Hall, this coming Monday.
I'm bringing sandwiches. I'm going to bring sandwiches. And everybody, I'm going to have sandwiches and chips and maybe some Gatorade or something like that, because you're going to need to hydrate for the war, because the Civil War is coming. And this guy he thinks this is perfectly normal. Here is, it's not Rogelio, it's Rogelio. It's right there, R-O-G. So I'm going to correct him on this. Rogelio Martinez. And here he is calling for civil war, and he's running for mayor of the city of Long Beach, California.
Why Monday?
Why?
Specifically, I need you to be here to meet me in person.
Sure.
To take back this city.
Take it back. From who?
Because our leadership is not doing anything about it, and our police are powerless.
Police are powerless. Our leadership is not doing anything about it. You know what he's outraged by is that illegal alien gang members might be arrested and charged with the crimes that they commit. And that's what Rogelio Martinez is against. And he wants the 55 street gangs to gather up, create an army of thousands, and get all your guns and come out and wage war against federal law enforcement. Here's Rogelio Martinez.
Once again, let me be very clear.
You don't give me that.
My name is Rogelio Martinez.
Yeah.
You're 2026 Long Beach City Mayor, and I need your help.
Yeah.
I need to see 55 gang leaders here this coming Monday.
Warriors.
We need to take back the city. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
ICE needs to get out of Long Beach. And this is the only way that I know how to get them out.
This is the only way he knows.
Peacefully.
Listen
but
to
with
this.
Strong force.
Yeah, peacefully with their guns, the gangs, because he always call it the gangs for the peacefully. Apparently he's got a lawyer or something like that. This reminds me of Joe Biden. Remember Joe Biden saying, well, if you're going to take on a government, you better have, he doesn't sound like Rogelio, but you better have F-16s if you're going to come after us, because we got F-16s.
And I love people who say, the blood of liberty, or excuse me,
The what?
The tree of liberty is watered with the blood of patriots. Well, guess what, man?
Nourished.
I didn't see a whole lot of patriots that are out there walking around making sure that we have these weapons. Well, and if you really want to worry about the government, you need an F-16.
I'd like an F-16. I flew an F-16 one day, and it was one of the great days of my life, I've got to say. But there's Joe Biden. It's you better have an F-16. So, hey, Rogelio, where are your F-16s, man? You're calling up the gangs. Here comes Rogelio Martinez for Democrat for mayor of Long Beach.
I stand with my Long Beach police officers, my men and women that serve the Long Beach Police Department.
Liar.
But they are powerless.
Yeah.
They're powerless against ICE.
Yeah,
I
ICE.
need your help. I need all 55 gang leaders to meet me here this coming Monday. And we need to take back Long Beach. Enough is enough. We cannot have any more innocent people be taken and detained.
We can't have that. We can't have people detained. We can't have law enforced or anything like that. Yeah, because the police are powerless, and they can't be powerless, and he's got to take it back. Oh, man. So Rogelio Martinez, the police are powerless, and he needs 55 gang leaders to come out because we're going to wage war against the federal government. This guy, the FBI should go in with helicopters. I think we should have, like, Marine Corps attack helicopters. We should have an AC-130 gunship overhead laying lazy circles around Rogelio's house, wherever he is. And a lot of innocent people will be killed because they're hanging out with him. And this is, the Democrat Party is on the precipice of creating civil war in the United States of America. I've had Democrat members of Congress using the term civil war, Democrats out on the street using the language of civil war and the term civil war. And now we've got Rogelio Martinez, and he is calling on the gangs of Long Beach, California, to come out with your weapons and create war. Because
come out to play.
In the movie Warriors, all the gangs of New York gathered under the leadership of Cyrus. And Rogelio Martinez wants to be Cyrus in Warriors. He wants to call out. And this guy was one of the creepiest figures ever in motion pictures. And just amazing stuff. So this is what the Democrats are doing. The mayoral candidate in Long Beach, California, calling on, he knows there are 55 gangs, not 53 or 57. 55 gangs, and, he's got the Filipino and the black gangs and the Pacific Islander gangs, the Cambodian gangs and the Latino gangs. He wants them all to get together so they can all be mowed down with AC-130 gunships. And Camp Pendleton's not far away. We get some Marine Corps helicopters out there. some Super Cobras, and, then Joe Biden's admonition about F-16s will have come to pass at long last. This is the Democrat Party. They are not on the side of civilization. They are the left.
ICE needs to get out of Long Beach. And this is the only way that I know how to get them out.
By the way, the sheriff in Arizona now says that as for the mother of the NBC News anchor, said the house is a crime scene. She did not leave her home on her own. They're treating it as a homicide or a kidnapping, and I hope it's not political in any way. I hope it's not illegal alien gangs, but now they're saying we have a crime. It is a crime, and why the daughter of an NBC the mother of an NBC News anchor? It's looking bad. Don't like the look of it. We do in fact have a crime, he said. Let's take a phone call, Michael, and we'll keep our ear to the ground on that. Let's go to Ross, calling from Front Royal, Virginia. Ross, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hello, sir. A long-time caller and always amazed by you. You beat me to the punch when you referenced the Warriors in your thing, but that's what the first thing that came to my mind when you emphasized that there's a great scene in Central Park where he's trying to organize the gangs, and his analogy is that they have more gang members than there are policemen in New York City, and which means they would have more firepower and it could overwhelm the city. Well, is it art imitating life or life imitating art? Who knows? But the last point is, let's not forget, Long Beach, California has one of the largest shipping into this country hubs, which means is if the gangs take charge because of city coverage there, what does that mean to the rest of us? Are we going to be held hostage? Is this another example of what happened in Seattle when they took over parts of that city? God knows what this means.
Well, and also compare it to Mexico, where the gangs and the cartels threaten to murder all the politicians and own the politicians, and it's terrorism. And this guy is a terrorist. And yeah, naturally, the movie Warriors, which was a fun movie. I think I saw it at drive-in when it first came out. And it's a fun movie, and it's wild. Yeah, and I believe Cyrus, I haven't seen it in years and years, but Cyrus, the king bad guy. Now, we got a fun tweet sent to us today from Dr. Fafo. Dr. Fafo. Fool around and find out. Fool around and find out. And, that is like snafu. Standard, normal, all fouled up. Remember when I was at CNN, we wanted to hear that the term snafu was used in context, something going on in the military. And the editors at CNN said, well, you can't use snafu because the F is the F word. It's an acronym. You're not saying the whole thing out loud. And FAFO is kind of the same thing. You say, fool around and find out. And snafu, standard, normal, all fouled up. You can clean it up for the kids, It's like that. But Dr. Fafo sent us the New York Post putting out their cover story today, their front page in the New York Post, which is always great. And the New York Post, they sent out with their tweet with the picture of their front page today. Mayor Mamdani's Gracie Mansion noticeably trash-free as UES neighbors, Upper East Side neighbors, drown in 8-foot piles of garbage. Read today's cover here. And then, see, here's the thing. So the Mayor Gracie Mansion, his area is completely cleaned up, all policed, no litter, no garbage piled up. But everywhere else on the Upper East Side in New York City and Manhattan, where the rich people live. It's where you want to live, the Upper East Side. And there are a lot of cool places to live in Manhattan, but the Upper East Side, they're drowning in 8-foot piles of garbage, but all around Gracie Mansion, all the garbage is gone. And the front page of the New York Post is got a photograph of piles and piles higher than people of garbage, black, hefty bags, the giant black garbage bags and garbage cans. And there's a box spring from a twin bed thrown out there in the pile. And it looks like the third world. And the headline is, "The City That Never Sweeps." The city that never sweeps. Now, that's been one of my lines about New York City for many, many years. The city that never sweeps. Trash piles up on streets as traffic snarls. And then I was talking about this last week, and almost nobody else was. 14 dead in freezing temps. Last time I checked, I think it was 11, so I got a few more over the weekend. 14 dead in freezing temps. And isn't that great? Because the Democrats, I've been talking about this for years, because the Democrat solution for homelessness, normally involving mental illness, is to throw the mentally ill homeless people with nothing out on the street, take them by the belt and the back and the scruff of their neck and throw them out on the street like it's a Three Stooges film. And then when it gets real cold, they die. And in the meantime, they have to look for things to steal to stay alive. And when they eventually commit a crime bad enough, then they're arrested and thrown in prison, thrown first in jail and then in prison. And you leave them on the street, and they die out there. And then eventually the city sends some Democrats by to scrape up their bodies. And because of a week of cold weather, and it snowed last weekend, they have 14 dead bodies on the streets of New York City, because that's what liberals do. They're the left, and they don't care about human life. Not a big deal as far as they are concerned. Just saying. We know what they're really concerned about? Somebody might be enforcing the law. Immigration law, gangs. They're rounding up the gangs in Long Beach. Apparently the gangs are not responding to the Martinez call for violence and civil war. But he's not done yet, because he wants to be Cyrus from Warriors. These people. All right, now let's get to the idiot Democrats, because the members of Congress, I do like the city that never sweeps, so thanks, Dr. Fafo, because that's fun. I hadn't actually seen the New York Post headline today, the cover today, but that's fun. That is my line, the city that never sweeps. I used that last week on the Newsmax TV show. And, oh, yeah, you know what else used? Angered some Democrats. I used on the television show on Friday night, we were talking about Minnesota and how two Democrat heroes, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, were shot and killed while violently attacking federal law enforcement officers. Alex Preddy, a white supremacist, racist, attacking two Latino men, spitting in their faces through the glass window of their vehicle, kicking out their taillight, picking fights, right? And I said, well, I don't know why the Democrats are so upset. I mean, ICE has killed the same number of people as Rob Reiner's son. What? Killed the same number of people as Rob Reiner's son? Well, he killed two people, didn't he? His father and his mother. And that's, the Rob Reiner family, that where they were able to make that story disappear, lickety-split. Am I right? I mean, he's a famous guy, and it's a Hollywood murder, and it's, you got the Menendez brothers rolled into one son and killed his parents, a famous parent, very famous father, Hollywood father, filmmaker, movie star, TV star, known for decades and decades. And that story disappeared, bam, like that. No big deal. And I got to tell you, all the media coverage going into the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother, and it looks like it's a very bad and sad scene. It does, and I hope that something turns and there's good news somewhere, but it doesn't look like it right now. But the news media is all over that. They and the Democrat Party, they're not reporting at all a police officer shot and murdered in Georgia in a hotel room yesterday because the Democrat Party doesn't care about that. And Officer Pradeep Tamang was shot and killed by a criminal in a hotel room in Georgia. He was using somebody else's credit card. They went to check him out, and the Democrat shot 2 police officers, murdered one of them, severely injured another, got shot himself by one of the police, but he survived. And the news media not raising money for the family of the police officer that was murdered. They're not covering the police officer that was murdered because they don't care about murder. They don't care about human life, and they despise the police, not to mention ICE. Speaking of the Democrats, let's go to Fang Fang's boyfriend, Eric Swalwell, who was a city councilman, a left-wing Democrat city councilman in California, when the Chinese intelligence agencies sent a hot young woman honeypot going by the name of Fang Fang to go court Eric Swalwell and usher him into the big time. Got him elected to Congress, got him on the Intelligence Committee in the House of Representatives with the Democrats. Fang Fang, the Chinese honeypot, is in his life. And that's all fine when you're a Democrat. You can have your long-term sexual affair with a Chinese secret agent honeypot who's controlling you and elevating you in your career politically and getting you to Congress and on the Intelligence Committee, where you'll be of great use to the Chinese Communist Party. And Eric Swalwell is just another Democrat as far as ABC News is concerned.
I did not support 2 weeks ago. I will not support this week another penny for ICE. They already have enough funding anyway. We shouldn't give them any more.
They already have enough funding anyway. We shouldn't give them any more. It's not even on the table. These people have demented brains. They have brain damage. And how many Chinese illegal aliens sneaked into the country under Joe Biden? The answer is thousands and thousands. Maybe tens of thousands, and they're not sending their best. Well, maybe their best secret agents to, isn't that amazing? Another radical left-wing idiot who occasionally even stumbles upon something that's obviously true. Ro Khanna, another California lefty.
I'm not just a no, I'm a firm no, and I'm going to advocate with colleagues that they vote no. I just don't see how in good conscience Democrats can vote for continuing ICE funding when they're killing American citizens.
They're killing American citizens. Democrats have killed a lot more American citizens since Renee Good was shot while trying to run over a federal law enforcement agent with her car. In fact, Democrats have killed a lot more than 2 people since their racist, white supremacist hero, Alex Preddy, was killed while fighting and beating up and spitting on and attacking 2 proud Latinx men who were enforcing the law. But, yeah, these 2, again, it's the old Joseph Stalin thing that a single death is a tragedy, 1 million deaths are a statistic, and that's certainly the case with the Democrat Party. The Democrats have another person in the House of Representatives named Julie Johnson. Julie Johnson is a Democrat. She's in the House of Representatives, and they're talking about because they've shut the government down, and ICE is already funded through the beginning of 2029, and all of this is, the popular word is performative, and that's the correct use of the word performative in this context. This is all theater. The Democrats are engaged in performance art. This is theater that you're not going to stand by while ICE is funded. You already stood by while ICE was funded. You voted to fund ICE, and it's funded for years. We just got into 2026, through 2026, through 2027, through all of 2028, into the beginning of 2029. It's funded, and all of this is theater. It's all BS, right? And here's this idiot Democrat, liar, corrupt member of the House of Representatives, Julie Johnson.
We cannot continue to fund them. They've had all this time. They know what they're doing is wrong. Kristi Noem needs to be impeached, and this agency needs a complete overhaul.
She's a traitor to women everywhere. She's, because she might have male genitalia, for all we know. She's a Democrat in Congress, after all. And the Democrat Senator Chris Murphy, who used to be less radical than he is now, but the party has become very, very radicalized, the Democrat Party. He was on Fox News Sunday, and the ICE, the Democrats are out there saying, oh, well, ICE, they're terrible. They're Nazis. They're fascists. They're Hitler. They must be abolished as an agency. We have to have open borders and wave in gangs from all over the world so they can join the violent revolution in Long Beach with Martinez, the criminal. Here's Senator Chris Murphy.
We're still pretending that ICE is going after dangerous people. They aren't. Right now, 70% of the people that they are detaining have absolutely no criminal record. What's happening in Minnesota right now is a dystopia. ICE is tear gassing elementary schools. It is disappearing legal residents into cars. It is murdering American citizens.
Lie. But at least it's the kind of lies that lead to civil war. These people are the third world. He belongs in a third world beep hole. Oh, yeah, speaking of sending people to third world beep holes, maybe we'll get back to the idiot. But here's Senator Chris Murphy. It's, they're not tear gassing elementary schools. That's a lie. They're not grabbing and arresting American citizens. That's a lie. You know what they're talking about when American citizens get arrested? It's Democrats out there violently assaulting federal law enforcement, and then they're arrested and sometimes shot in the face when they're violently assaulting federal law enforcement, because that's what you should expect when you're on the street and you bring a gun and an extra magazine of ammunition and you're going to violently attack federal law enforcement. You know, sometimes they win, you lose. Senator Chris Murphy.
The Constitution is being abandoned by this administration right now as we speak. And so our focus over the next 2 weeks has to be reining in a lawless and immoral immigration agency in this nation.
It's immoral. And then 1 million abortions a year, highly moral. Supporting Bill Clinton, highly immoral. Supporting the Barack Obama and the fundamental transformation of America. He can slow the rise of the oceans, you know. Hakeem Jeffries, mentored and effectively raised by his racist anti-Semite uncle, Professor Leonard Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries is the lead Democrat in the House of Representatives. I'm sure he'll be calling for a civil war in no time.
It was a meaningful step in the right direction, certainly the separation of the 5 bipartisan bills, which in our view promote the health, the safety, and the economic well-being of the American people, need to move forward. What is clear is that the Department of Homeland Security needs to be dramatically reformed. We need to make sure that there are complete and independent investigations so that when ICE or DHS agents break the law, they are held accountable. The administration can't just talk the talk. They need to walk the walk. That should begin today.
They can't just talk the talk. They need to walk the walk. They need to begin today. They got to undo everything because a couple of Democrats violently attacked federal law enforcement, one with a car, one with a gun strapped to his belt. And this is not a Second Amendment issue. He's out there attacking federal law enforcement. He brought a gun. He brought an extra magazine. He violently attacked them. He got what he wanted. He got what was coming to him. The Speaker of the House is a Republican. His name is Mike Johnson.
We'll get all this done by Tuesday, I'm convinced. We do have to do it we have a rule process, which will be probably on our own. I don't understand why anybody would have a problem with this, though. Remember, the bills that have already been passed, we're going to do it again. It's a formality at this point. The Homeland Security bill is important, and we have important negotiations. The president is leading this. It's his play call to do it this way.
It's his play call. He's not pawning it off on the president. The president is leading the way and saying, let's do this. And that's what they're doing because Trump is in charge. He's the president, isn't he? I didn't even get to that crazy lady, did I? Another crazy Democrat. So many crazy Democrats, so little time. Cut number 8. Yeah, Democrat named Lori Gillen. Listen to this. The Haitians who we brought in here on temporary protected status about 30 years ago.
Sending these people back to Haiti is basically a death sentence. And that's why we were asking the administration to open up their hearts and to extend this TPS.
The temporary protected status that's been in place for 30 years. I thought the Clintons fixed Haiti. They were just there to, get some mogambo. I think that's what that was all about. And they got rich, too, but they didn't save a single life. Now, cannibals run the place. What's his name? Yeah, Barbecue. Barbecue is the lead cannibal gang member. We can't send him back. It's too dangerous. My best girl and I, we went on vacation to the Dominican Republic. You can throw a football from the DR into Haiti. We can't send him back. It's a death sentence. Yeah, right. Now, the Hollywood people gathered last night to give the Dalai Lama a Grammy Award, as they had given Barack Obama twice, Michelle Obama twice, Hillary Clinton once. And it was full of idiocy. The Trevor Noah, who is effectively talentless and has been riding a magic carpet ride his entire adult life, he was out there. President Trump is going to sue him. And he's stated this, President Trump has, for what he said, Trevor Noah said last night.
That is a Grammy that every artist wants, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland, which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, I told you it's my last year. What are you going to do about it?
To hang out with Bill, what are you going to do about it? He's announced that he's going to sue. President Trump has announced he's going to sue. Slander. He said, ask George Stephanopoulos. ABC paid Trump $16 million for saying something similar to that. Bad Bunny was there last night, and he's going to be the halftime show at the Super Bowl on Sunday. A lot of people are boycotting but listen to this bourgeois. He's from Puerto Rico.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm going to say eyes out.
Woo, they're all going wild. Keep my slaves in the basement of my Beverly Hills mansion. I sexually abuse them, and then they clean up, which is real nice, because Bad Bunny. And Billie Eilish, she apparently is from Los Angeles, and she's a pirate or something.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Illegal aliens are illegal, and the land's not stolen. The Muslims stole the land in southern Spain. It took centuries, the Reconquista and all of that. And, of course, the Muslims, they took over Byzantium and Istanbul used to be Constantinople. That's stolen land. The terrible Turkish Muslims, they stole Greece for 400 years. That was stolen land. The Democrat Party is very severely mentally ill.